Traveling solo can be dangerous, especially for women, but in this video I share tips and tricks how you can do it safely and still enjoy your adventure. So in one of my latest videos I already talked about the 10 reasons why you should definitely travel solo at least once in a lifetime. But I get it, it can freak people out, it is super overwhelming if you never did that before. That's why I thought I put together my 10 tips to keep yourself during your travels while you can still enjoy your upcoming adventure. And if you stay till the end, I have a little bonus tip there as well. So my first tip, which is one of the most important ones, is always plan your first night and your safe transit. So try to either book a hostel in advance for the first night at least, and try to arrive there in daylight, like latest in the afternoon, so you still find the time to find your hostel and also maybe change your hostel in case it doesn't appear really safe to you. Remember your gut feeling from one of my last videos, and then rather spend a bit more than too less to feel safe, really. As you are probably a young female solo traveler, it is super important to stay safe. Number 2, plan the frame but not the whole picture. What I mean by that is actually traveling solo does require a bit more attention to details. You're better be safe than sorry, right? Do your research on your accommodation, on your transfer and so on, but then you're gonna be fine. You don't have to plan your whole trip. Don't start imagining, oh my god, what will I be feeling like when I'm there? What is this happening? And so on. Plan your frame, but still enjoy and be spontaneous throughout your journey. Reason number 3 is to pack light. This not only saves you money because you don't have to give up a big luggage at the airport, but you're also so much more flexible and mobile. Of course, it requires a bit more planning and you cannot bring 20 outfits of everything. You have to combine your pieces of clothes, but you're gonna be so much more flexible. You can basically bring your backpack wherever you go because you need no one to pay attention to it because it's too heavy to carry it around all the time. Reason number 4 is don't overshare, but share the right information. Your accommodation is your safe haven. You don't have to tell people you meet somewhere in the city where you live. It's easy to be wake. It's easy to be wake. Except if you're from the same hostel. It would be kind of weird if you walk out of the same room and you're like, I don't know where my hostel is. Somewhere in the city. That's another story. And same is for social media. Of course you can share that you are, for example, in Bangkok, but you don't have to share the specific area you're in. You can still ask I'm in Bangkok, is somebody there who wants to meet up? Of course, that even makes the whole experience more fun because you meet people. Maybe you can also meet friends of friends that live in this area, but don't share your exact location or share it after you left this location. But what you actually should share is your roundabout initially with your family or your friends. And also what I do on every trip is to share my exact location with 1 or 2 close friends at home. I also do that when I'm home basically. If I go out somewhere and it's maybe just with 1 or 2 persons, I always send my exact location. And I would recommend you to do the same. Number 5 is actually you don't have to be alone unless you want to be. So when you're traveling solo, people often think they're gonna be lonely all the time. It's so hard to meet new people, but actually that is not the case. You can build friendships with women all around the world. My favorite one is to be at hostels. You can also choose a hostel for solo backpackers. It's way easier to get in contact with people because they have free walking tours, they have dinner together, whatever. So you can basically meet friends while you're just staying at your hostels. Also just talk to people. It's super important. Talk to the receptionist at your hotel or hostels. talk to locals, talk to everybody. The more people that know you in your hotel, hostel, in your neighborhood, the more safe you will be. And if it ever comes to a situation that is not making you feel good, you always have a lot of people to ask for help. And also talk to locals, because they know their way around in the city way better than you are. And also it will help you to get into the culture way better. Tip number 6 is to protect your valuables. Keep your important documents like your passport and your cash at your body the whole time. And always have several copies with you in your bag and with a safe contact at home. Always try to look for hostels that offer lockers, because you can put your stuff in there and you don't have to be worried about that it's gonna be stolen. And wherever you're in a taxi, put your bag on the back seat with you. Don't put it in the bag, because you never know what happens. If you have to jump out of the car real quick, you can do it because your bag is on your lap. And that's also another reason why you should stay mobile with light packing. Now we're getting to a big one, and that is, don't be the target. Of course, no one wants to be the target, at least usually, but sometimes you can't choose, and so you rather make yourself less a target than more. I think I could make a whole video about that, but let's just follow some basic rules. One reason to don't be the target is to stay street smart, which means don't walk around at night, don't let your Google Maps read it out loud to you, don't look lost. Don't show off, like showing your jewelry, your fancy camera, your phone, whatever. Don't be a typical tourist. And another one, don't get drunk, because at the end you are alone and you don't want to be the victim. Maybe have a few drinks if you can handle it, but don't get drunk, because you need to be aware where you are, you need to get back home safely. So please, 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 don't get drunk. Tip number 8, which is kind of connected to the one before, is protect yourself. Try to integrate into the culture, the city, the country you're going to, and try not to be the typical tourist, rather cover too much than cover too little. So if you're going to a country where it's typical that women do cover their hair, consider doing that as well, because you want to pay respect and you want to integrate and don't want to come around like the typical tourist. But if you still become a target, there are 2 things you could do. First, always carry around a fake money wallet with you, where you have maybe just some cash or even fake cash in there. So if somebody wants to have the money from you, you just give it out to them, because if you don't give them anything, they could get angry or even violent. Also, even though pepper spray is not really allowed, you maybe could just use mosquito spray or hairspray, because it will hurt in people's eyes, promise. And it can just give you those extra seconds to run away. And something I never tried myself but heard it was good is to have a safety alarm, which is kind of a small thing you pull out, and then you have a super loud sound, so people will pay attention to you when you're in a dangerous situation. Reason number 9 is to stay open-minded. Of course, you can stay in the typical touristic areas where you can speak English all the time, but maybe take that extra step forward to really get out of your comfort zone again and really learn the language, eat with the locals, sleep at their houses, just get into the culture. Of course, there is kind of a risk there, but that's just life basically. But you can always talk to them, you can learn the language, you still have your hands, you have your feet, and you have Google Translate basically. And also, if locals see that you're making an effort to learn the language, they will be so much more open and you may make new friends for life. And the most important one, I cannot emphasize this enough, is trust your gut. Really. Politeness is never ever more important than safety. So even though you feel like you can't escape this situation because you want to be polite and all stuff, if your gut feeling tells you that something's off here, you leave. Just go. if you're coming to a hostel, you don't feel safe, go. Consider taking another one. Maybe already have another one in your head before you even enter the hostel. Safety always comes first. Be nice when it's warranted, but better be safe when it's not. But never forget, still stay positive. Not everybody is out there to get you. Those tips are just to keep you safe in case somebody is. And now I'm coming to my last and final tip, and that is basically to just enjoy. This is the adventure of a lifetime and you will not regret it. You will make incredible memories over there, and you should not make yourself totally crazy by following all kinds of rules, planning out everything by the minute, or be afraid that there is a stranger trying to kill you around every corner, because there isn't. You will notice that people are actually super nice, and even though I had travels like in Europe and Asia alone, I never had the feeling that I was truly in danger, and if there was a situation I didn't feel safe, I just left. So please don't worry too much. Solo traveling is something amazing and you will grow a lot from it. You will meet incredible people. So please, please, please enjoy it. As I promised, I have a bonus tip which will make your memory of this trip even better, and that is to document your journey. Whether it's writing down in a travel journal, whether it's taking photos, it's taking videos, put them together in a photo book afterwards, or make videos out of them, document them on YouTube like I will do during my trip. But this is one way to either keep the memory to yourself, because rereading the notes you took or the sentences you wrote during a long bus ride, this will take you back in time to this exact place. And this is like a bit reliving your memories, even though they're already over. But still be careful to not document all the time and still try to live in the moment. So that was it for me. I really hope you enjoyed those 10 or let's say 11 tips to keep you safer on your travels when you're traveling solo, especially as a female. If you have any more questions about this topic, let me know down in the comments or contact me on Instagram. I'm happy to help and share my experiences. If you like this video, give it a like. It will mean so much to me and I can still do videos like this in the future. And if you want to see more of them, you can always subscribe and activate the clock so you'll never miss one of my videos. So, until next time, my friend, stay tuned, stay curious and stay creative, my friend.